Hey everybody, thanks for joining in. Let's go ahead and share my screen here. This presentation mode here. We got people coming in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and wait a little bit. Sitting in here in my recording studio. Thanks everybody for being on the recording, or on the, it's not a recording, for being on the broadcast, a live broadcast. And it's 8:01, just turned 8:01, so let's just give it a few seconds and we'll have, give people a chance to climb on. We've got, we should have pretty close to 100 participants today. All right, got more and more people coming in, awesome. I love it when technology works, right? You guys are probably being frustrated and challenged with technology every day. So hey, y'all who are on here, do me a favor and go into the chat and let me know you can hear me, you can see me, and that everything's cool, okay? Do me a favor and help me out. I'm gonna open up my chat here and let me know you can see me. Let me know all is well. Please. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, cool, cool. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Awesome. All right. Awesome. All right, so I'm definitely into rewarding people who show up on time, so I don't want to hold you guys up. I know you're busy making money right now, and I'm really honored that you took the time to share with me tonight. It's going to be worth your while, and so let's get into it. And if people come in late, I guess they'll just have to miss a little bit. I got this huge water bottle that I stole from my daughter. Filled it up real quick. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to or sent your kids to camps in North Carolina, but they always come back with these bottles. So let me wet the whistle and get this thing going. So what we're going to share tonight are the top 3 secrets of building a profitable tax prep business. Now you guys are just getting into peak. I've been doing this training for quite some time now, and obviously you don't have time to go through a full-blown training right now because you're busy making money. And if you're not making enough money, well, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to definitely show you some stuff tonight that can help you and move your career forward, all right? So number 1, we're going to cover the marketing magnet, how to ethically bring in over 100 clients, got a little typo there, how to ethically bring in over 100 clients from your competitors for under 20 bucks a day, all right? So I'm going to cover that tonight and talk to you about that. Secret number 2, the top 10 things, how to have your best peak, got peak season coming up right now, right? The busiest time is typically right around the 31st. Even with the government shutdown, people are getting their 22s, you know, client or W2 employers are required to send those out to clients, and hopefully they're going to be your clients. So yeah, how to have the best peak ever with no experience needed and without paying a bunch of money or royalties to a franchise. And then secret number 3, oh man, I got another typo there. Secret number 3, closing a sale, how to close more clients at a higher average net fee than you ever have, and watch clients be happy, all right? I'm not going to teach you how to rip off clients, but I'm going to teach you how to get what you deserve. Far too often, you see tax offices don't get what they deserve, and there's definitely steps that you can take to get that done. So real quick, I'm going to kind of just do some housekeeping. Who's this for? All right, who's this for? If you have a tax store, if you're in the tax business and you have a tax store, this is training you're going to be happy that you were here to see. If you have clients but you don't yet have a location or a storefront, that's cool too. This will definitely help you out and move you towards that, all right? And then whether you want employees or you already have them or you don't want them, this is still great training. If you have employees, man, this will help out a lot. If you don't have employees, even at this late hour, I'm going to show you some ways that you can get some employees and give you hope and show you how to build towards that, okay? Because, you know, if you're just a one-man show, you're doing everything. You're answering the phone. You've got to expand and bring people in, and it's better to work on your business than only work in your business, okay? So who is this not for? It's for people that, you know, if you know everything, and you're expecting me to just teach you some, you know, some stuff that maybe, if you've already been in the business forever, you could still learn some stuff tonight if you have an open mind. But if you don't have an open mind and you're just here to, I don't know, maybe you're begrudgingly here. If you're begrudgingly here, then seriously, go back, do some other tax returns. Don't waste your time. I don't want to aggravate you, but I know I can help, okay? So my goal for this class, real quick, and you can tell I'm talking really fast because I know how busy you guys are now, and I got to cram a lot of information here, and I don't want this thing to go over an hour, all right? So who's this for? The only way for you to exponentially grow your tax store is through effective marketing and closing skills. That's my goal for this web class, is to show you that the only way for you to grow your tax store is through effective marketing and closing skills. If you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same results, you know? You keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. So the easiest way to build your marketing and closing without paying a bunch of money to a franchise is with some of my Taxcelerator acceleration training, and you'll see why in a little bit, okay? Cool. So here's why, all right? Number one, I know the system, all right? Like totally. I know the system that is taught to the franchises, and here's why. I'm the guy they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to travel the country and train thousands of tax preparers, tax store owners, and I've literally held classes where I've had 300-400 people in them, and I've held classes where I've had 4 people in, all right? So, yeah, this isn't all my stuff, but it's very effective, very helpful information that I want to share with you, all right? So, I do need you all to promise me a few things, all right? And here's a couple big ones. Like, don't waste your time, all right? If you're going to be here and focus on this. If you've got Facebook open right now, or you're chatting with one of your friends, or you're on the phone answering the call, you know, put your phones on do not disturb or turn them off. Get a pad of paper so you can write stuff down, because I'm literally going to show you things that, you know, these are $10,000 ideas, $5,000 ideas. No, I mean, I've seen people turn this into six-figure, absolutely. It didn't happen overnight, but 6-figure concepts I'm going to share that you can grasp and exponentially grow, all right? So, again, you got to turn your phone off. I just want to emphasize that. Don't be on your phone looking around. If you're going to be here, be here. If not, you know, I guess go do what you got to do, all right? Cool. And then the last thing, don't use this for evil. This is very, very hardcore effective marketing stuff. So much so that the Department of Justice, the IRS, literally investigated the stuff I was doing down here in Tampa, because we would literally blow away our competition. And I had tons of people going to the IRS saying, oh, they did this. No, we didn't. We didn't. We did those who know the rules, rule. And all we did was great, effective marketing that brought in hundreds and hundreds of clients and pissed off our competitors. And I showed people over and over how to do that, okay? And you'll see that as we go through this, all right? So you can't use it for evil, but here's what you can use it for. You got to raise your right hand right now. Seriously, I'm not joking around. Raise your right hand right now and say after me, I will only use this to crush Freddy's Fraud Shop. You know what I mean by Freddy's Fraud Shop. Every town has them, okay? So don't use this marketing for evil. You don't have to. You don't have to. You do things the right way, especially over the next 14 to 21 days. You can make more money. I mean, you literally can print money over the next 14 to 21 days if you know what you're doing and you do it effectively. And it's not too late. I can still show you, and it's not like some expensive stuff that you got to do. You'll see as we go through this, all right? So let me know on the chat. Seriously, I want to see on the chat where you guys respond and promise that you won't use this for evil, but you'll use this to crush Freddy's Fraud Shop. I need to see some people chatting in here. Let me check it out real quick before I go any further. I mean, because I'm not going to share this stuff unless you guys are active, all right? Come on, only one. All right, come on, keep them coming. Come on, seriously, if you're going to be here, be here. If you're going to play along and be involved, great. If not, just seriously, you don't have to watch this. I know this stuff. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Come on, only 2 people have responded. Figure out your chat. I'm going to ask you some other questions, so figure out your chat and swear that you won't use this for evil, but you will use it to crush Freddy's Fraud Shop. I need to at least get a few more here. Okay. All right. All right, cool. We can move forward. Thanks. You'll find I definitely want to do that stuff. So here's my earnings disclaimer, and this isn't anything legal. This is, you'll see. You're not gonna make this happen overnight. Okay. The stuff I'm going to show you tonight, actually, this is more of a disclaimer for my bigger, larger classes, but you're not gonna earn a gazillion dollars on this overnight. It's going to take some time. Now, over the next 21 days, or between now and April 15th, can you use the trainings I provide to make a lot of money? Absolutely. All right. So, and let me just kind of tell you, at first, when I got into this, I just wanted to cover some bills. I didn't want to be a millionaire, all right? But then I saw the people that were earning really good money. Like, I remember my first time I ever met a guy that told me he was earning $300,000, putting in his pocket $300,000 after the tax season. He had numerous offices, but I'm like, well, I only have this one office right now. I mean, but then I took a calculator and I said, well, what would just generating $300,000 worth of income be? What would it take? And I said, okay, well, there's 107 days in the tax season. You go like from January 1st to April 15th, and I guess this year you guys go to like the 17th or 18th or whatever. What would it take? So I did the math. If you take 300 grand and divide it by 107 days, that's $2,800 a day. And definitely over the next 21 days, man, you can absolutely do 10, 15, 20, 30. The most returns I ever did in an office during peak in one single office was 46 returns in one day. But I know other people who have literally done with like 5 or 6 tax preparers, 60, 70 tax returns in a day. So, and these are the same techniques that I'm going to teach you, that you don't have to have a 10-year-old tax business. You could do this stuff as a beginner, or if you're in your 4th, 5th year, you can still, really, really improve as long as you're willing to take advice. All right. So, like I said, I started, and in my first couple of years, and I'm going to tell you here in a little bit, I started in an office in Harper Woods. I'll show you the picture of that office in a little bit. And I did really well my first couple of years after suffering, like literally. I remember it was like January 17th, January 18th. I had spent all this money on computers. I bought software. And I was freaking out because nobody was coming in, and I was afraid. So I thought, well, man, what is it I need to do? And I did these steps that I'm going to share with you, and I literally grew so fast and did so well that they asked me to talk at conventions. They asked me to talk at different trainings, and John Hewitt, the same guy who built Jackson Hewitt and Liberty Tax, right? That's thousands and thousands of offices. He would highly recommend that people would come to see my trainings, and he literally paid me hundreds of thousands of dollars to do these trainings, all right? The people would pay me, and he paid me also, okay? So that's me getting an award. And how did this happen? Well, ever since I went in the Navy when I was 17, young kid, quit high school, went in the Navy, got out when I was 21, and ever since I've been like 26, 27, I've gone to Dale Carnegie, Zig Ziglar training, just all kind of trainings. I went to Tony Robbins trainings, did a lot of public speaking. I went to Fiji and went to his trainings there, Business Mastery. That's me snowboarding. That's Tony in the middle there. That's me in the blue on the right with a couple other guys. One guy's from Australia. Actually, they're both from Australia. One guy owns a skateboard park building, like he builds skateboard parks. And the other guy owns a motorcycle manufacturing. His name is Johnny Brapp. And that's his nickname because he was like a motocross champion in Australia. And he was named Entrepreneur of the Year like 10 years ago. Anyway, that's us snowboarding in Sun Valley. And I actually talked in London at one of Tony's business masteries. So I've done a lot of public speaking and stuff like that inside the industry and outside. And I literally would host thousands of people in the trainings during the summer for the large franchises. I donned a van like this, and literally the day my kids got out of school, my wife and I would hop in the RV with them. We would travel all summer, and 2 days a week we would do trainings. I would train for like 6 or 7 hours the first day and 7 or 8 hours the second day. And yeah, it was a pretty cool gig. And how did I get there? Well, I got there. I started as a newbie, right? I didn't know anything about the tax business. This is my first tax store right there. That's in Harper Woods, Michigan. It's on Kelly Road. And that's the very first store I ever owned. It didn't look that good when I bought it. When I opened it up, I sold it to a guy, I don't know, it's been about 7 or 8 years now, but you could call that office 313-245-1040 and ask for the owner and say, hey, who used to own, who's the guy who built your store? And he'll tell you, Stevie D, Steve Duletsky, that's me. And that's my first office. And like I said, you know, when I first got in the business, all I wanted to do was provide a better life for my kids, right? I just want to make enough money to cover the bills. And that first season was hard, man. It was hard. I remember literally sitting in my office, like around the 17th or 18th, and pretty much having a nervous breakdown, like melting down, because I had spent all this money. I paid a bunch of money to the franchise. It was $25K for the franchise. But even without that, I mean, that was a big deal. But even without that, I spent a bunch of money on the tax return, on the tax software. I spent money on doing the office, getting things ready, just like you guys are now. I'm sure you've spent quite a bit of money to get ready for the tax season. And nobody was coming in. And at least not the way I wanted it. I mean, a few people were trickling in, but my people really didn't know what they were doing. And people would come in and they'd walk out if we did get them to come in. And I was freaking out. I had self-doubt. I was afraid. I was overwhelmed, and I really didn't know what to do. And I remember sitting in my office, like literally crying. And I'm like, man, and I was like, I prayed. I was freaking. And I'm like, and I remembered, you know, with Dale Carnegie and a guy by the name of, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, and what they talk about on a regular basis is if you don't know what to do, find other people who know what they're doing, pick their brains, and then do exactly that. All right, you know, so I did. I got on the phone, and I called other tax store owners and said, hey, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you doing for marketing? What's bringing the most people in? And I took notes, and it gave me some hope. And actually, we started really doing well, kicking some ass based off doing that. And I actually ended up doing 1,000 tax returns that year, okay? And I was the #1 tax preparer for brand new tax offices. And that was the first time I won some different awards. And every year after that, I won awards inside of the franchise that I was in. And I'll show you some of that here. So I did 1,000 returns, but I only generated like $76,000. So I still, there's the trophy that they gave me that first year, and that's me getting the award. So, you know, after that, it worked, but I wanted to make more money. And the next year, I did a little bit better, but I was like, I did more tax returns, but I still didn't make that much money. I think I generated like 182 grand, but I had 2 offices, and I think I made like 15 grand that year because of all my expenses. And I'm like, this ain't gonna work. So after the second year, I literally got on a plane and I flew out to New York, and I visited a couple of the best franchisees there. I went and visited the best guys in Detroit. I came to Florida, I went to Chicago, and I went to Los Angeles, and I put together the absolute best practices based on some very consistent data, and I put together a training program for my people. And I also ended up doing some different goal-setting speeches and things like that at the Liberty conventions and whatnot. But, you know, the offices I visited, some of them were in big cities. I made sure that I splattered it around because I wanted to make sure, okay, if I open up an office in a small town, I want to make sure I know what to do. If I open up an office in a suburban climate, I want to make sure I know what to do. If I open up an office and I have a couple stores, I want to make sure I know what to do. So I did. I put together these trainings, and I ended up being able to pretty much anyone. I can show how to do this, and I've done that for the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. All right. So if you've been struggling, I mean, this is why. It's not that easy of a business, but that's okay. It's not your fault. I mean, seriously. There is a better way to do things, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you I found out the hard way, right? Like maybe some of you have, and I figured out the easier way. So let me know if you guys want to know the easy way. And I'm really serious. If I don't get some serious responses on this chat where you guys chime in and let me know that you want to know the easy way, I'm just going to head home and have some dinner. All right? All right, so I said I'm in that boat right now. Yep, there you go. All right, come on. I need to see a few more people coming in. Not just, all right, come on, guys. Use your chat. It's easy to use. If you're not using your chat, you're probably not paying attention. All right? So, all right, cool. All right, so I'll jump back into this. So, the hard way, also known as what we were forced to do for over 3 years, all right? Like literally, here's what I did. I flew around the country. It cost me like $3 or $4K. I had to pay hotels that I went and visited. I had to pay a technical writer to put my trainings together. And then, of course, I had already paid a franchise fee. And literally, I spent 3 years the hard way trying to figure this out, all right? And the 8 or 9 weeks that I traveled around the country. So, but the worst thing is I lost 2 or 3 seasons before I really made any money. That 3rd season I did pretty good because I brought this stuff back and I did it. But then that year I really put it together. I put it into a strict training. And after that, I was jamming. So there is an easier way, and that's what I'm going to share with you. So secret number 1 is how to ethically steal hundreds of clients from your competitors for under $20 a day, all right? And now is the perfect time to do that. This is the perfect time to do that, all right? So yeah, that's what I'm going to share with you. I thought I had to spend a whole bunch of money. And here's the deal. I had already spent a lot of money on computers, printers, and software, right? Like I've shared with you. And I was afraid. There's 2 different kinds of marketing out there, guys, all right? There's traditional marketing, and there's guerrilla marketing, all right? Traditional marketing, in all fairness, radio and TV, putting in ads, it's just with the internet and just all the media, people aren't watching TV like they used to. There's so many different radio stations. There's so many TV stations. I mean, think about how many cable stations there are. The guerrilla marketing is really the way to go. All right. Guerrilla marketing is defined as marketing that you can do for inexpensively that is more grassroots marketing. All right. Now, in my trainings, I really get into step by step what to do with that. But what I want to help you guys understand in this brief time we can share tonight is that guerrilla marketing is really where you're going to get the results and the best bang for the dollar. And you need to find simple, inexpensive, easy things to do, okay? And they're out there, all right? And the things that I could do that really, really made a difference. And these are the things that I learned. Things like, having somebody out in front. You've seen the waivers out there and whatnot. Well, that's a very, very, there's not a much more effective way to get people in the door. And over the next 21 days, I mean, it's like, if you want to put on muscle, you got to lift weights, okay? And if you want to get people in the door, you've got to increase your visibility. You've got to increase the awareness, and you got to let people know because people are going to be getting W-2s over the next 14 to 21 days. So, putting together and doing it in an inexpensive way that's super effective, that really made us stand apart, okay? Now, there's bad ways to do it and right ways to do it, so you got to be careful. But in a nutshell, that's what I want you to know, that you really can. You can stand out. You can get people's attention. And the best thing is once you get these folks in the door, through doing person-to-person marketing, through putting waivers out, through using the telephone and calling, And there's definitely techniques surrounding that. But the thing is, those are the things that can really make a difference. And that's how you can get into conversations. All right. Now, what stops a lot of people from doing this, and don't let this stop you from doing it, folks. All right. What stops you from doing this is literally people are afraid that they're going to be a salesperson. But when we did these techniques, we literally did, man. We took clients away so fast and brought in clients, and our office was so busy that we literally had competitors time and time again knocking on our door angry with us because we were stealing their clients. Like, I mean, numerous times in different offices around the country, either people I've trained or my offices that I own myself, people would come in and say, hey, what's the deal? You know, and investigate and be mad, like pissed off. So that's how I know that we were getting results. And you might be saying to yourself, well, hey, I'm not a marketer, okay? Well, you know, to tell yourself that you're not a marketer really is a limiting belief that you do not want to participate in, all right? You don't want to participate in that, and you don't need to be a BS salesperson to do some intelligent, inexpensive, low-cost marketing. So if there's anything I can get you guys to carry away from this, okay, in the short time that we have to spend together, is that you don't have to be a marketer, but you got to do some marketing, and that doesn't make you a BS salesperson. It just makes you someone who's proud of what you do and is willing to go ahead and bring people in. You've spent a lot of money already, and this was something I needed. This was like a hill I needed to climb over. I spent a bunch of money already to get the office together. I had to spend a little bit more and be really smart about it so I could get people in the door, because otherwise I wasn't going to get people in the door. And when I did the guerrilla marketing techniques, those simple, effective things, man, especially in the next 21 days when people are looking for somewhere to get their taxes done, and early season clients are willing to make a move, and they're more, I guess they're more willing to make a move, all right, for lack of a better term. So I literally have trained hundreds of accountant types how to do this, and you just got to have the courage to get it done, all right? So, you know, you might be saying, hey, well, but shit, I'm already busy. Yeah, if you're busy and you're just so overwhelmed, you can still bring in more business. But if you're not as busy as you need to be, you've got to put some time into this. And I can show you also how to teach other people, maybe your mom, your sister, your kids. I mean, early on, I had my mom do marketing. I'd have my kids come in and do some of the stuff as well. And so for very inexpensively, you can do this stuff. And it's easy, okay? There are quick, simple action steps that you can do to get this done. So how do you guys like that, right? I mean, I've got a lot of stuff to cover, so I can't go too deep, but I just want to hold, if there's anything, I hope I've shown you it's possible. I have. I've shown you it's possible to ethically steal hundreds of clients from your competitors, and you can do it for less than $20 a day, okay? So let me go on to the next one, all right? Secret number 2, how to have your best tax season ever with no experience needed and without paying $40K in royalties to a franchise. What you need to really do here is you need to take the time and look around your office and make sure that you're doing the best things that you need to do. There's so much to do right now, so you really need to isolate and focus on the most important things to do. You've got to prioritize and focus on those items, all right? And what that means is, well, let me tell you guys a quick story. And this is something that a lot of people don't know, so this is why I call it a secret, all right? All 3 of the major companies, guys, all 3 of the major companies have what's called their top 10 things to focus on. John called it John's top 10 things, right? Henry Block called it something else. And when John was building Jackson Hewitt, same thing. And he brought that right over to the Liberty franchise. They have the main things that they need to focus on, and everything else is just going to have to worry about that until later, okay? There are certain things right now that you need to focus on. And what I did when I traveled the country, I told you I traveled the country and talked to the best offices. I talked to the rock stars, and I said, okay, in this area of top 10, what are your best practices? What are the main things within these top 10 that you do and you make sure that you're doing on a regular basis? And that's the information that I then took and shared that's me a couple years ago doing a training. I want to say it's either Texas or that might be in North Carolina or Virginia. But anyway, would take those 10 things and say, okay, what are the best things to do? And the people I learned from, I didn't learn from Terry Bradshaw, a guy who hadn't been in the office for a while. I learned from Tom Brady, all right? But here's what's cool. You don't have to be Tom Brady to get this stuff done. I literally taught this to brand new people, to experienced people, and people who were in the suburbs, people who were in the cities. And it's really about making sure that you keep an eye on. I don't know why this slide won't go forward here. But here's the things that you got to really keep an eye on. Waivers, right? Business to business and doing marketing in that area. How to treat your customers properly and to make sure that you're calling your customers. Your hours of operation. I mean, you should be working 20 hours a day over the next 21 to 24 days. You got to literally tell everybody in your world, see you wouldn't want to be here right now. You got to be focusing on your business, okay? And your target net fees. These are the top 10, okay? And what we would do is dive into these and give everybody the specific areas to focus on those, all right? So, again, here's the best news I want to share with you guys. You do not have to be a star to get this done, all right? I did. I took this to thousands of franchisees, and here's what's really cool. After we did a lot of these trainings, people were saying, well, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Yeah, John says I should go. Well, after the first year that I went around and did these trainings, they literally took, and everyone who attended my trainings improved. And they literally compared the people who did attend the trainings to those who didn't. And the people who attended the trainings, improved significantly. So, and I'll tell you, to have that it was good news for everyone that I shared it with, and it didn't matter if they were in rural areas, urban areas, suburbia, small cities, everyone improved. And I got to tell you, man, it's one of the coolest things I ever did, and continue to do. So it's something I'm passionate about, helping people. And everyone out there needs to get their taxes done. There's tons of people out there trying to make a buck doing taxes. I want it done the right way. I want it done by ethical people who are going to do things the right way. So you can go out and crush Freddy's Fraud Shop, and literally make sure that you're doing things the right way. And you're going to be so busy that you don't have to do that bullshit. All right, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's really how to have your best tax peak ever. And you don't need to be experienced. You don't need to pay a franchise fee. You just got to focus on those items. Byron Johnson, he's a kid who went to my training a couple times. He's down here in Tampa. And after going through my stuff, he would go out and buy offices from people who didn't go through the trainings. And he would literally increase them to 400, 600, 800 returns that they would do out of these offices. I've got a video where he gives a testimony about it. And if you want, just request it. I'm going to give you my email at the end of this. I'm going to show you some other links, and I'll send you a video with a bunch of people telling you the results that they got once they followed the training that I provided. Okay, so I want to get going here though, because it's already 8:30, and I want to get through this in an hour for you guys. So number 3, closing the sale. All right, huge. It's one thing to bring people in, okay, but this training shows you how to close more clients at a higher average net fee than you ever have, and have your clients love them. Because once I got more people to come in and I had the operations with the top 10 squared away, what happened was we'd get a lot more people coming through the door, but a lot of people would walk out. And I'm sitting there going, damn, I literally, these tax preparers I have are sending and putting money down the drain. I'm spending a fair amount of money, not a ton early on. Like I did, I kept my costs really low early on, but I would have people come in and walk right out the door. And I'm sure everyone's had this happen, especially new people. You finally get a client and you're excited. And if you don't handle it properly, I mean, people will walk out in a heartbeat. So this is super important that this be handled properly. And so here we're getting these people in, and all of a sudden, you know, we're discounting, reducing the cost of the tax return, and people were either still leaving, or people were upset when we were giving them what I saw as a really great deal, like a really great deal. Like, you charged what? I mean, remember, I did 1,000 tax returns, and we only generated $76,000 worth of income. $76 a tax return, and you cannot survive doing $50, $75, $100 tax returns, bro. I don't care who you are, you can't. I mean, and then you're gonna have clients, oh, I can go over here and get it done for 50. Yeah, well, cool. You don't want to build a business, guys, off of people who are paying 75, 100, 125 bucks. You don't. You do not want to do that, and you don't need to. All right. So I put together from my days in sales training and the different things, I put together a really good high quality closing a sale training, and teaching that to people really kind of rounded everything out. Had the marketing piece, had the operational piece, getting the office squared away where it needs to be, doing the marketing and focusing on the things that we need to do. And then the closing the sale training helped us get more referrals and helped us bring people in. And it was night and day. I mean, literally night and day, where people would come in, and we started with a new motto, and the motto was charge more and be worth it. Charge more and be worth it. Don't rip people off. Don't, but hey, yeah, sometimes a tax return is a $375 tax return, is a $600 tax return. All right. And yeah, some tax returns should be only 50 to 75 bucks. Like maybe something super easy for a 17-year-old kid or a 15-year-old kid who works at Wendy's or something like that. All right. There's spots for that, but you got to have an average. So that's one thing you're going to want to write down. You got to have an average net fee, and you got to make sure that each day you monitor that, and that you keep an eye on what your fees are doing. Because if you get to where you or your people are discounting too much, and you're not using closing the sale techniques, that's the worst service you can provide your people is not keeping your store open. The worst service you can provide your people is not having charged enough so that they have a question in June or August, or they get a letter from the IRS that you can't even be found to service them. That's one of the worst things you can do. Or build a business around discounted work. All right? I mean, you have to believe in yourself and believe in the work you're doing. All right? And then communicate that properly. Okay? So, but here's what's really cool. When you adopt these techniques and you take your time to, make sure that you're reviewing all the forms with them. Make sure that you're gathering rapport with them. And there's a number of things that you can focus on to make sure that you're really getting the maximum amount of that tax return that you should. All right. So closing the sale, with this training, you can literally close more clients at an average net fee than you ever have, and your clients will love you. All right. So let me show you some case studies that we did. But yeah, this is kind of a recap. Secret number 1, marketing magnet, how to ethically steal hundreds of clients from your competitors for under 20 bucks a day. Secret 2, top 10 things, how to manage your best peak ever with no experience needed, and then the closing the sale. So, I've only been talking for like 40 minutes, but I had to jam all that stuff in there. And sorry for talking so fast and everything. Hopefully you've been able to write something. I know sometimes it kind of feels, but I want to share some case studies and testimonials. This is my buddy Tim Maggerly. He's out in Oregon, and he's my friend now. But just to kind of give you, something. This is just one of the people that are on the video that I'll send out to you. But he had a 25% increase in tax returns after going through my training, and he had a 15% increase in his fees. So in other words, if he was charging $200 a tax return, 15% increase, you guys all know math real good, he was able to get $30 more for every single return that he did. And don't underestimate, I know 30 bucks doesn't sound like much, but when you get 30 bucks more each and every time, number one, you don't alienate your client, and number two, that's the difference between making a profit and not making a profit, people. And then his tax return amount, like I want to say, I've got the numbers in here. He was doing right around 700 returns in his office and charging about 200 bucks, and he would generate $140,000. But now this is a guy who had a lot of expenses. So it doesn't matter if you're doing 100 returns or 200 returns, or, I mean, I've had people who went to my training who were only doing 150, 200 returns and ended up doing, you know, a couple hundred. So doubling what they were doing, right? Bringing up to 400 or 500 returns. So his situation is this: with the 25% return, it went from 700 to 875, right? Think about it. 25% of 700 is 875. And then, or the increase, it's 175 more. And then when you multiply that by 230, he went from 140 grand to 201. That $61,000 difference, like maybe before he had like a 10% profit margin where maybe he made like 14 grand or 28 grand, whatever, whether he had a 10 or 28% profit margin. But now this puts him into like a 30 or 40% profit margin. So think about a 30% profit margin at 200 grand, that's 60 grand he made. So that's $61,000 difference. And now here's the deal. He has 5 offices. He did that across all of those offices, and he increased his revenue over 6 figures. Pretty good, right? I mean, who out there? I mean, think about what that did for his life. I mean, think about the impact that it had on his life. I mean, like literally, it made a huge difference in his life. I mean, it's just, and I helped a lot of people like this, and that's why it's, you know, I mean, it sound like a braggart or anything, but yeah, it made a big difference in a lot of people's lives. All right. So, I mean, think about that. Isn't that something that you'd like to see? So, no matter what level you're at. So I know you're kind of overwhelmed. All right. And I've shared a lot of information with you, and you guys are busy. So I just want to, you know, first of all, did you get a lot of good info? Did you get a lot of good info? Hopefully you did. I know that I don't have tons of time to share all kind of stuff with you. But I do want to. I absolutely want to. And actually, I've put together a way that you can get more in deep dive training without spending a shitload of time on it. And literally, I want to show you guys how you can get the training and it'll pay for itself. Okay, so I'd like to ask your permission, but I want you to think about this before you say yes or no. All right, seriously. I want you to think about this before you say yes or no. All right. Like I said, it all came together with the marketing and then the operational stuff inside the office and then the close and the sale training, right? So let me ask you that, you know, Tim, trust me, I'm no brain surgeon, okay? I mean, I quit high school when I was 17, went to the Navy, got my honorable discharge, and I made I really changed my life, and I'm pretty proud of where I am. Very happy here in the fall of my life. I've done what I have, but you know, Tim isn't exactly a genius or anything. He's probably smarter than me, but he is a bright guy, but I mean, he's no genius, right? He's no but think about this. Do you think that if you did exactly what Tim did, okay, improved your marketing, improved your office operations, closed more tax returns, and increased your average net fee, if you focused on doing those things and you had steps that helped you get there, would you get the results he got? Okay, like literally, you know, I've always believed that if someone else can do something, I can do it. And whenever I doubt myself, that's where I gotta remember, shit, if somebody else can do that, I can do it. You know, if somebody else can go ahead and, you know, whatever it is, if I have a passion and desire and I focus, I'm a bright guy overall. I mean, I'm not a genius, but I'm an averagely, if other people did it, I can do it too. All right? So ask yourself that. Now, I understand 300 grand. I'm not talking about 300 grand, but let's just say that 10% of that. Say you screwed it up. You took the training, you're busy, yada yada. You only increased 10%. Okay? Who would like to increase through 30 grand? That's 30 grand. Okay? So no, let's take it to another level. Say that you really screw up and you totally take the training and you do what Tim said or did, but you only improve a 10 of the 10%. All right, so 10% of 30,000 of 3 grand. Say you generated another 3 grand, right? Even then, I mean, I could cut you a check right now for 3 grand, right? And you had to do very little to generate another 3 grand, right? You take it, okay? I sure hope you would. And I'm telling you, what Tim did is possible. The $60,000 per office situation, okay? Or no matter where you are. So say you only were going to bring in 40 grand this year, all right? You've got, number one, you've got such a bigger upside. So anyway, I don't want to waste. So that's what I want to ask you guys. Is this something that you would be interested in hearing about? Okay. Do I have your permission to show you that? All right. Can I take 5 more minutes and show you how to get this literally for free? All right. And I mean it. Like literally, you're gonna be able to get it for free. The more thorough training. Okay. So here's the deal. I put together what's called the top 10 things to do now masterclass. All right, the top 10 things to do now masterclass. Now the values I have, and this is the same class that Tim took, and it starts out with how to bring in more W-2s the easy way. All right, I've got this on CDs and tapes, and I used to mail it out, or people would come to attend my training. And the training is valued at $495, right? Looks like I forgot a zero there. $495, all right? And in this training, it's the same class. I teach inexpensive marketing tactics for as low as 20 bucks a day. I teach you how, where, and when to find clients now, all right? Especially over the, I mean, you guys, you are going into the busiest time of the tax season, okay? I mean, if you work hard now and do the smart stuff, you can make more money over the next 10 to 20 days than you ever have in your life. Like you need to be printing money over the next 10 to 20 days, all right? And then how to get easy referrals, absolutely free, all right? So that's what's in this class. Also, and again, it's the same training Byron took, same training Tim took, also includes closing the sale training, all right? Closing the sale training, how to increase your fees and have happier clients, how to eliminate walkouts, literally eliminate walkouts, and how to charge more and be worth it, all right? This is a training that tons of people have bought it for $395. It's valued at $395, and you know, they get it, they get access to it. It's the same training. So top 10 things to do now masterclass, how to bring in more W-2s the easy way, valued at $495, inexpensive marketing tactics, where and when to find clients now, how to get easy referrals for free, all right? And then closing the sale training, valued at $395, how to increase your fees and have happier clients, how to eliminate walkouts, how to charge more and be worth it, all right? And here's the deal, all right? If you do this now, if you do this today, over the next, I've got a funnel running, and it's a special offer. And if you do it now, it's only $176, all right? Now here's what I want you to think about, okay? How to bring in more W-2s the easy way, closing the sale training, both of those are valued at $395. So that's like, what is that, 500 bucks? so $900 some dollars. So it's like $890 for only $176. All right. Here's what I want you to realize. That's less than the cost of one tax return. Less than the cost of one tax return. If you don't get at least one more tax return, I will just give you your money back. All right. But every time people take this course, I get emails and I get messages back. Dude, thank you so much. What else? What else are you training on? What else do you have? And this is really an introductory way for you to see value in what I can provide for you and your family for years to come. Okay. And I got something else for you too. All right. And I'm not increasing the price at all. So check this out. Over the next 21 days, and I'm going to start it on Monday. I have a Facebook private page, private group, where each day for the next 21 days, I'm going to go in and you're going to be able to ask questions. I'm going to talk for about 15 to 20 minutes or more every day. And I'm going to tell you what you should be focusing on the 28th. I'm not going to take up a shitload of your time because you're not going to have time. Okay. This is for only people who have taken this training. And so for the next 21 days, I'm going to have a private Facebook page where you'll be able to go in, you'll be able to ask questions, you'll be able to literally, interact with me, and I can help coach you over the next 21 days. Okay. That's valued at $595, and I'm not going to charge any more for it. And as a bonus, 21 days of coaching, and it's free when you sign up today. Okay. So, what do you guys think? Is that something that makes sense for you guys? And here's what I want you to remember. Okay. This works in, because you might be saying, oh, well, maybe not you guys, I don't give a shit where you live. I don't care if you live in Oregon, it worked in Oregon. I don't care if you lived in Detroit, it worked there. I don't care if you worked in Mississippi, Florida, it doesn't matter, okay? Over the next 21 days, you got an opportunity to make a ton of money. You don't want to go into that 21 days without being your best. And this will help get you there, all right? It's not going to make you perfect, okay? At minimum, you're going to build a nice foundation, and some of you will catapult, all right? I've seen it over and over. So the way to get it, and just to recap, all right? Top 10 things to do now masterclass, how to bring in more W-2s the easy way, inexpensive marketing tactics, where and when to find clients now, how to get easy referrals, all right? And how to do all this on a for as low as $20 a day. You're allowed to spend more, and here's the deal. When you start turning $20, $30 into more returns, that's when you're going to say, okay, I got to spend a little bit more on marketing. But you don't do that until you start getting results, okay? So closing the sale training, all right, $395, how to increase your fees and have happier clients, how to charge more and be worth it. And then top 10 things to do now, 21 days of coaching, valued at $595. So I'm going to have all this stuff up on the class, on the training. It's not up there tonight, but anyone who signs up today, all this will be up on there by tomorrow at noon, and on Monday we'll start the masterclass. So you'll have this weekend coming up to study this stuff and make sure that you're doing what you're doing. I'm going to give you my email address as well, but if you want to get involved, www.taxelator.com, you got to write that down or take a screenshot or do something like that, or you can email me if you don't get it exactly. But if you sign up in the next 24 to 48 hours, all right, you'll have access to all the stuff that I just shared with you, okay? And it's at HTTPS. Make sure you get the address right, and that's where you can go in and have access to the masterclass and have access to the slides. You can watch it over and over again. You can take notes. You can bring your crew in and watch it. And then if you want to take deeper dives after that, once you see the results that this gets you, that's definitely available. All right, but this is an introductory way that I bring people in and expose you to the training that we do. So yeah, write that information down. I've got a question here. Let me go ahead and see what's going on. Oh yeah, remember, so Marcia, maybe you weren't here early on. I said early on in the training, the question is, I don't have an office yet. Can this help? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, some of the stuff that I talked about, you're going to have to, you know, but I've helped people who don't have offices. And one of my first slides was, it's even for people who don't have offices yet. So absolutely, this can help. So if you guys have any other questions or anything like that, you can either hit me up at steviedcares@gmail.com. It's 8:56, so cool. I got this done within the hour. But just to make sure I'm recapping here, okay? How to bring in more W-2s, where and when to find clients now, super important. How to get easy referrals for free. Got some cool stuff to share with you on that. And then how to increase your fees, have happier clients, how to eliminate walkouts, closing the sale training, and then combine that with the 21 days of coaching bonus, and it's all for less than the cost of one tax return. And I got a money back guarantee on this. If after you go through this and you've gone through everything, if you're like, no, this didn't help me, you would be embarrassed to say that to me once you go through this. But if you do, no questions asked, I'll give you your money back if that's how you feel. But that's never been the case, and it won't be with you. You'll unless you're an unethical person or something, you'll be like, damn, this stuff helped me out a lot. And it's really important to me to provide value. It's really important to me. I know that this is helping you. It's helping your families. It's helping those that you care about and those that care about you. So yeah, man, absolutely. I want to do everything I can to help all of you. So if you want to get in touch with me, you've got my email address there, and you know where to go to take advantage of this. All right. So look forward to working with you guys, and that's going to be the end of the webinar for today. All right. Thanks, everybody. If you guys are still on here and you have questions, you can go ahead and either email me or you can jump in here and do that. It's up to you. Having a hard time closing this down. Boom. There we go. Cool.